You are getting ready to listen to the voice of Dr. Rhadi Ferguson, 2004 Olympian, four-time national judo champion, Brazilian jiu-jitsu black belt, author, speaker, and coach.
Hey, what's going on, man? Good morning. Good morning. I would say that this is a coffee with Rhadi, but this is more of a cardio with Rhadi. Did my walking, and now I got to finish the balance of my daily hour on the elliptical. I wanted to just drop something on you all because, man, I really have a lot of opportunities to reach out and touch a lot of people through some of my many social media platforms. And I think it's important to bring together people through facts and numbers and information so that we don't go around saying things that can be divisive to one another. I saw a couple things on social media, on Facebook this morning, and I saw a couple things that people posted after some recent polls came out from some of the media outlets during the election season. And the first thing that I hear from people is stop the steal. Now, no matter what side you sit on, here's what you have to know. Mathematically, let's talk about math. Let's not get involved in, let's put your emotions aside and get involved in math. Mathematically, the country is split down the middle, and it has been for many election cycles. And mathematically, one side has won the popular vote many times. And I'll say the Democrats have won the popular vote, and I think the Republicans have won the popular vote since 2004, which means the majority of the population of people vote a certain way. And then we have an electoral college that determines how that particular state votes because we have a republic, all right? But we have to discontinue saying phrases like nobody wanted this candidate or stop the steal, because mathematically the country split down the middle, and mathematically in the last election cycle, what's going on, Brian? I'm glad you're watching because I don't want to have a discussion about red or blue or black or white. I want to have a mathematical discussion, and we have to look at the historical numbers. And mathematically, as I said before, the country split down the middle, and the Republicans have not won the popular vote since 2004. Now, not winning the popular vote doesn't mean you can't win. Donald Trump won the election, the presidential election, over Hillary Clinton, 100%. And when he had his parade, a lot of people weren't there. And most of the country was upset. And the reason why you can say most of the country is because he didn't win the popular vote. So those things happen. In the United States, you can win the popular vote and not become the president. Those things happen. What we have to recognize is that as we recognize the electoral college votes, we also got to recognize that there is a population of people that vote. And that population of people that have voted in the past 20 years, that population of people has not, they supersede sometimes the person who wins. So we got to be very careful. When people look at polls, they say, oh, they're getting ready to, they're prepping us for the steal. They're going to say a poll polls people. And if you take a standard population poll across the United States, no matter how many people are showing up at anybody's rally, one side is going to have more than the other. And statistically, there have been more people who have voted for one side than the other. And I'm trying to say side as much as possible because I want to give you all an opportunity to do the research yourselves. Okay. Now, the other thing that we've been hearing is that a party is committing a coup. Like, we have to stop saying these things in the United States because you have rules that are set. The RNC, the Republican National Committee, just like the DNC, they have rules. You have a front runner who was a front runner for a period of time. Front runner felt like he no longer wanted to be the front runner, no matter if he was pushed out, no matter if he had to sit down, no matter if he, all those particular things, he had the opportunity to say, hey man, I want to run, I don't want to run. It's like saying, hey man, I want to compete, or I don't want to compete. He no longer wanted to compete. He didn't feel like he can medal in the event. So when he sat down, then there's a new process. I know we all see on the media, it looks like somebody's already been picked, but that person hasn't been picked yet. All right? Not at all. And you have people who are holding, that I know, back their donation dollars because they're not sure, because they want to make sure that the process, because there's still a democratic process in place where that person needs to be voted for at the national convention. So when that person is voted for the national convention, and all those other individuals who were running have an opportunity to go back into the pool and put their hat in the game. But just like everything else in the United States, Americans decide. And Americans decide with their voice, and they decide with their money. And when Americans put their voice and their money behind the thing, that's how they make their decision. So let's not get involved in left and right and black and white and up and down, and let's just get involved in the true spirit of competition. Let the best man or woman win, and then let's move forward. If you want to have some good spirited discussions online, that's great. But while you're having those discussions, please, no matter if you're Republican or Democrat, get out and canvass. No matter if you're Republican or Democrat, urge your friends to vote. No matter if you're Republican or Democrat, urge your friends to read. Last night when I was in the dojo, I asked my students if they had watched the Republican National Convention. Some of them said no. I told them to go back and watch the convention. I asked them, did they watch the debate? They said no. I asked them to go back and watch the debate. One student asked me why. I said, well, it's part of quality citizenship to know what's going on inside of your country, to be as informed as possible, to watch the news cycles on the BBC, MSNBC, CNN, Fox Business. Like that's your job. Your job is to read the news on the left, read the news on the right, and then come up with your own desires and thoughts and processes on what you want to see and how to move the country forward, and then move the country forward. That's the key. But what we cannot do, and what we have to we got to do a better job of, and you gotta stop reducing every political discussion to name calling. Like, man, listen, most of the people who are having these discussions, man, you guys are 20, 30, 40, sometimes 50 and 60 years old. And you're like you're back on the playground. I don't have time to be calling nobody no names when they're telling me what their agenda is. If you're very strong on pro-choice, then man, be very strong on pro-choice. If you're very strong on pro-life, be very strong on pro-life. If you're a very hardcore Christian evangelical or deep in the Bible and you don't get down with the LGBTQ movement, then just say that, give your particular reasons without insulting a group of people. You don't have to insult a group of people to say you don't like their agenda. Just say you don't like their agenda and then say why. And then hopefully you all can read some synthesis, or hopefully somebody can come by and read what you wrote or what you talked about, and they may say, no, I never really thought about it like that. But here's the thing. As much as you love your side, nobody's going to follow what you love if you don't lead with love. Nobody's following nobody who's not leading with love. Not the majority of the people. So make sure in your discussions and your deportment and your behavior that you just lead with love. And also make sure you read, man, and do the math. And as I close, I'll say the same thing I just said before. The Republicans have not won the popular vote since 2004, which means population-wise, more people don't want that particular level of agenda. Now, that doesn't mean that that agenda will not win. As I said before, you can win in the United States without winning the popular vote, because we don't have a democracy, we have a republic based upon some democratic processes, okay? The other thing is, make sure you stop using the word coup and go look at the process that's available. Go look at the process. It is possible for a candidate to no longer run. And as I said before, Americans vote with their voice and with their dollars. It's always been like that. If you have a store in your neighborhood that you don't like, you can go outside, you can pick it in front of that store, you can walk around that store, or you can just stop shopping there. And you can vote to put that store out. Or you can keep shopping there and make a vote every day with your dollars that that's the store that you want to go to. All right? That's what I got for you today. Man, just operate more. Man, you gotta operate with love a little bit more. You gotta be able to see somebody else's point without insulting people. Like I made a post on my Facebook page the other day, and out of nowhere, people started insulting my education. When I went to undergrad for 5 years, did my master's for 2 years, and it took me 7 years to finish my PhD because I was competing and training. And what are you attacking? What are you upset with me for? Because I read more books? Like there's no reason for it. I didn't even respond. I'm just telling you now because it's not necessary. If you have a point, make your point. Lead with love, and then leave with love. That's Dr. Ferguson, man. Have a super fantastic day. Remember, I love you, but God loves you best.
You are getting ready to listen to the voice of Dr. Rhadi Ferguson, 2004 Olympian, 4-time national judo champion, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, author, speaker, and coach.